Morning everybody. More fencing today. More exciting fencing. So we're back down at the same area we were last week. Yeah, last week. So no wires been put up against this little triangle area. By the looks of it, Dad's run the cyclone across this fence here and up to the gate up the back. So what I've got to do first up is twitch the wiring onto the fence posts. By the looks of it, I think there's only a couple have been done holding it up, but I've got to do all of them. So we'll do that, and then I don't know if we're going to put wire on here first or if we're going to start putting the plain wires across these fences, but we'll see what happens. I'll try to make this video a little bit shorter just because fencing isn't probably the most exciting job on the farm, as I've said. But yeah, so we'll crack on, get this all twitched up with a bucket of little twitching wires, and yeah, get it all hooked up to the steel posts and go from there. One post done. I don't know how many to go. Twitching on wires is probably my most hated part of the fencing. I don't know why, I don't like it. I think it's because a lot of times we've done fencing, I've had to do a lot of the twitching. Dad's probably done most of it in recent years, but I remember one year we did a fence way over there from those like old cypress trees all the way up to, there's a plantation of gum trees behind this plantation here. And I think, if I remember correctly, I had to twitch all of them by myself, and I think it was like in summer. And I think that's why I hate it, because it's just like slow and annoying and fiddly. And I don't think we had these sort of twitching wires. I think we just had straight plain wire, which is like harder to twist. And yeah, that's why I hate it, I think, because it's just a painful job to have to do. But it is what it is. Rightio, so I've just, behind these guys, I've just done the long stretch of posts. So I'll do the second half now. Dad just come and saw me then, he's just out checking sheep. Apparently, some weaner cows have gotten into the barley, so Dad's gone to get them out. So, not happy Jan.
Not happy Jan!
So once he gets them out, yeah, he'll come over and we'll start probably running more cyclone or plain wires. Sun's out today as well, so sort of surprising, but there is a lot of clouds happening as well. So I don't know if it's going to be cruddy weather, if it's going to rain or not. But yeah, we had a heap more rain during the week, and then yesterday I think was a dry day, and I think Thursday was a little bit dry as well, but still more rain. Always saying it. Rightio, I just finished twitching all the steel posts to the cyclone. They just come back to get some fencing supplies. I think the cows might have broke a section of fence up where along the barley. Hopefully they haven't done much damage to it. So he's just shooting up to fix that. So what I'm doing now is I've got the wire wheel out with the plain wire. So I'm going to run a plain wire across the top of the cyclone wire. So the cyclone then gets clipped to that wire and it keeps tension between the posts pretty much. And then we'll also run another plain wire which will go through all those insulators on top, and that'll obviously be electrified. So run the plain wire out. Hopefully I've got enough to get to the other end. We have a little bit of scrap stuff in there we can join if need be. We do have a new roll as well, but we don't want to open a new roll for a short little bit of wire. And yeah, we'll get this top one done at least, or the second one, and then hopefully get the electric wire on there as well. But we'll have to set up insulators on the end assemblies too. I'm not sure how Dad's going to set it up, but we'll worry about it when we get to it.
Doesn't matter, really matter. Try and get it a nice tight fit like that. Bend it, your tail around, go through there, and then either again. You can either go up over the top or come round from underneath. And then just to make it a bit easier to tie off, I just cut a bit off that tail. And professional blokes, yeah, it's all about speed with their fencing, because they're on by the metre. They'd only go around 3 times, but leave it.
Rightio, so as you just saw, just straightened up this plain wire, put a gripple on there and twisted the wires around. So the purpose of this wire is to hold up the cyclone in between the posts. So we'll put clips on that'll hold these 2 wires together, and that'll keep the fence even tighter. Well, it'll keep it from sagging in between the posts. So we've got a little clip gun that I'll get out and I'll start clipping the wires, well, the cyclone wire to that plain wire, and then I'm not sure if we're going to run the electric wire or not, but we'll find out after. Rightio, so I don't know if I've showed this before, but this is I don't know if you call it like a staple gun. It's not really a gun, it's like pliers with a little magazine thing, and then yeah, full of these staples, I guess. So I guess they are staples in a way, but what they sort of do is, you see it feeds up in here, and you just squeeze the handle of the pliers and that curls that staple around, and you end up with, like, yeah, sort of clips around the wire like that. And that's, yeah, how you clip them together, each wire. It's a pretty good little tool. So we'll go along here and I'll I don't know how many I'll put in between. I think it's like usually we put like 3 in between each post, so we just like sort of space them out evenly, but I'll just confirm with Dad how many he wants, and then I'll go along and staple all those to the posts, oh, to the fence, sorry. Rightio, so I'll just give a quick demonstration on how this thing works. It's going to be super quick. Basically, it's sort of a little bit tricky with one hand. You get your 2 wires in like that, and then boom, done. Simple as that. Just curls the little staple around it, and that's what holds your wire on. We used to do it with, I'll quickly show you, I think there's an older fence over here. We used to have these, I don't know what they're actually called, but they're a clip, and the principle's sort of the same, but they allow more sag in the fence, I think, because the plain wire isn't as close to the cyclone wire. But you'll see that there, just clips around the cyclone wire and the plain wire. This wire set up different setup with the 2 plain wires not touching the cyclone wire. That's how we used to do the fences. But yeah, that clip sort of does the same thing, but just a little bit older of a method, and this is quicker and easier, and it's probably cheaper to use these staples than to use those clips. I don't even know if you can buy those clips anymore. You probably can. But yeah, so I'll go along, put 3 in between each post, and then this fence will be all secured to the cyclone, and then it'll just be the electric wire that has to be ran on it. Alright, so what we're doing, we've just stretched out the little bit of wire we had left to set up the electric wire now. So we have to insulate it at each end, obviously, so it doesn't just short out to ground. So we have to put a plastic or porcelain insulator between the bits of wire, and then yeah, one will get connected up to the positive end, I guess, and that's how it gets its power. But yeah, you need to put an insulator in between your wires to separate them from the posts and other wires. So that's what we're doing at the moment. So here's the plastic insulator. It sort of loops together, and both wires like loop through it, but they don't touch each other because the holes are designed offset, so they don't touch the wires. Rightio, so we just finished straining up this electric wire, put another insulator on it. This one's a porcelain one. We didn't quite calculate our cutting of the wire here, so it sort of ended up on the post. It isn't a problem, the wire shouldn't short out on there. It's still pretty stable. So there's the join there on the porcelain insulator. And then, you know, it's got the plastic ones that I put on there last week, so it just runs through there all the way up to that plastic insulator up the other end, and it's all nice and tight, ready to be electrified. So this section of fence is done. That'll just have to hook up a wire to power the electric parts, and he'll probably, I don't know, join it up to that fence there and run a pipe under the track or something like that to power it up. So now we're going to do the same thing on this longer section that bends down to the gate down the bottom. So run a plain wire across the top, across the cyclone, clip it all on, strain it up, and then do the same thing with the electric wire, insulator at each end. We'll, don't know how we'll do it at that bend in the post. I think we might put like a bit of poly pipe around the wire to insulate it across that post and just let it bend around. That's what Dad's done before, so we might do that. And then yeah, so we'll see how we finish up with this one, and then maybe if we have time left in the afternoon, I don't know what Dad's plans are, we might get this little section here started at least anyway. Alright, so we've just ran the, finished running the electric wire up to here. This is another little thing we're putting on. Insulator you just nail to a post, so it keeps it off the post. Even though this is an electrified, this wire, doesn't matter, it keeps it off the post. But yeah, if that was electric, then it wouldn't short out on the post. So yeah, this fence is done. So we'll go back up the top, and I'm not sure what we're doing next, but we'll find out. Just saw dropped off that feeder bin. We didn't do it, it didn't get done last weekend. Look at this random wiener cow, youngish sort of car, following the trailer, trying to fight the trailer. Obviously something interesting about the trailer. But yeah, you can see how wet this paddock is from the cows puddling around. It just holds so much water. Like in a slosh area here. Yeah, this entire paddock's like drenched still. So yeah, at least they've got their feeder thing out there now. I don't know if we've got to put any feed in it today or not, but we'll see what happens. Rightio, so we've finished up with the fencing for today. This little small paddock now is now fenced off completely. All the fence is done, just needs power run to those electric fences and a small gate put down in that corner. which we're not doing today. But yeah, that fencing's done. Just that little triangle section still needs to be fenced, but we're not too concerned about that. It was more getting this part fenced off, and then that other paddock's sort of separate as well. So this will create just a bit of a holding, or 2 holding yards just about, for when we're like got a lot of stock up here. Like if we've got all the sheep, we can split them up into their groups and whatever, for whatever reason we need to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then there's all the sheep and the lambs running around in the background. So yeah, lovely day today at least. The only problem with when it's a good day is the stupid bloody planes come out. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's all we're sort of doing for today. As I said, I tried to keep it short. I know fencing isn't crazy exciting, but yeah, so that's sort of where we're at the moment. We got that feeder out to the cows. There must be a little bit of feed still in it, I think, because they're over there having a chew, I think. But yeah, that's what we're up to at the moment. So if we do any more, I'll come back at yous. Oh, we've come back out for a little bit more work. We're just going to wire up these 2 end assemblies on this little corner section of fence we're doing. So this one here has to be done, and then just up the other end. So what I'll show you now is Dad's Dad's economical ideas for not using like WD spray or silicone spray, whatever the hell we were using to lubricate the bottom where the stables were to run the wire around. We're using some canola oil that he's used for deep frying some chips and whatever else he's been cooking. So we're going to pour that on there, so we're going to attract all the animals to the smells of fish and chips. So we're pouring olive oil on the post instead of using the spray to make the wire go through the tops of them easier. Oh well, it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got others to do.
2.
Right, bring that round. Get out of that.
See, now it's done. Now the animals are coming, going to eat our fences. Going to smell our fish and chips.
Oh, grab that.
Pull them.
You know, stretch them so they, one at a time, and fish them.
Hang on. Alright, we got one canola oil end assembly done. So, dogs have been eating, licking the posts.
Oh, forget it.
So I'll go to this other one, and then that'll be pretty much us done for the day. I think Dad's going to go check sheep after as well. Yeah. More chip oil. Could be good for getting foxes here. They could come down to your fence and you just shoot them while they sit there and have a lick. Don't want to borrow it. Alright, so that's the last assembly done for today. And then yeah, this fence is ready to have wire put on it, which we're not doing right now. I think Dad's gonna go around the sheep, so yeah, that's us done on fencing anyway. So yeah, now we are done for today, so what do you reckon about your olive oil?
As you can see, viewers, we're right into recycling here. Nothing wasted. So just wait till I cook a pork roast and see what happens to the fat off of that.
Yeah, well anyway, he's gonna come out here and rub his pork all over the fences. Yeah, that's it, we're done for the day. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Alright.